So we're gonna work with units in this video, and I outlined this right here, this little table it gave us with some values. 1 decagram equals 10 grams. 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram, right? So they're just giving us units, and the conversion chart for the units. All right. So we're gonna look at this before we look at the question. We're gonna look at this. All right. And once we're looking at this, we're gonna look at the question now. So it says a hospital stores one type of medicine in a 2 decagram container, right? In 2 decagram containers. Based on the information given in the box above, how many 1 milligram doses are there in one 2 decagram container? All right, and so it kind of gives us the conversion chart right here. And so it's actually good to know what these prefixes actually mean. So deca, not dia, deca is 10. All right, milli is 1,000. Milli is 1,000. 1,000, okay. And so these base off of the base unit, which is a gram, all right? So hence 1 decagram is 10 grams. 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams, all right? So it's good to know what these prefixes mean. I'm not going to say that it's required. I'm just going to say that it's really good to know if you want to get a pretty good score on the SAT, all right? So it's how many 1 milligram doses are there in one 2 decagram container. So 2 decagrams, that is 20 grams, all right? 20 grams. And so if we kind of go back to right here, right, we want to convert it to some 1 milligram doses, all right? We can just say, so if 1 gram, 1 g is equal to 1,000 mg, 20 grams is just 20 times this, right? So if we multiplied it by 20, right, so this times 20, ideally in the SAT you'll have the freedom of a calculator in this question, but we can go ahead and multiply it out. So we have 0, 0, 0, then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have a 2 right here. And then we can just add like that, so that is 20,000 milligram doses, all right? So the answer to this is going to be D. And so we can actually, before we could have even picked the answer D, we could have just crossed out some pretty irrational choices, right? And A, that is one very irrational choice. How can it be 0.002 milligram doses in one 2 decagram container, right? That is pretty outrageous. 200, that's pretty absurd as well, right? 200 in some milligram, right? If milli is 1,000, how can it be 200? All right, so that's a pretty absurd choice. And then from here you can work your way to 20,000. All right. So that's how you work with units. All right. So definitely when working with units, it's a pretty useful thing to know what these prefixes, deca, kilo, milli, centi, deci, right? So good to know what all of these prefixes mean before doing these unit problems, all right? So definitely memorize those if you want to get a really good score on the SAT, all right? Do some practice on Mathtivity. Like I always say, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have questions, feel free to ask, and I hope you guys found this useful. I'll see you guys in the next video.